Hello, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I'm going to show you a crazy wool test video. I ordered the wool online. It's Alpaca Vibes, fashion, 50 grams is 95 meters. And I find it really interesting. It just has these areas here that are really wide in yellow, and the whole thing is more of a quite a light rosette, more like a pink powder. I would do rosé, goes in the other direction, but yeah, I really like the mix. Again, I'm really excited to see how it turns out crocheting. It's been tested for crochet hooks, and in terms of composition we have 40% alpaca, 37% polyacrylic, 20% wool, 3% polyester for 5-point needles. I actually have 5-point and a 6 here already. So we have here, the colour is very good, that's the 5-point, and then we have the 6-point needle here. I also have bigger crochet hooks because I might vary a bit and see how the whole thing works. I think it's definitely, case is developing, very exciting. It's unfortunately a bit off already, so I'll show you again the structure. I'll take the label out for you first, and then I think I'll have a better overview with the label taken off. So here we do the whole sign, and the colour is the number 6 in this case. So the wool is basically a two-tone here. Again, the further information there. And then we'll see. So I definitely have an outer part of the wool here. It always seems to come at regular intervals. This yellow part is woven in. That's thinner thread around the support. The white thread runs around, and then there is this yellow fuzzy part. I just call it fuzzy. I think it's quite well. Fluffy piece is always included, and I'll now unwound it, and so here I have the start anyway. I hope it doesn't get fuzzy here, get stuck together. Let's see. First of all, I put a little bit behind and see if it really is at regular intervals. So I have this yellow part that's really visible here at the height. Then I've got it here, the next yellow part. Then goes around here, and it's always a different distance. I just put out all the yellow ones on top of each other, and then I've got these leftover threads hanging down here. And then, of course, you can see that that's the case in terms of length. It's roughly the same direction, so basically they are all built the same way. So it's always roughly the same height. So same length as this yellow part is included, and also in terms of the strength, it's always pretty similar. It's not even, you know, a little bit, but it's always about the same strength. Comes to something similar here again. These are similar lengths. Yeah, they're not identical, but it's quite similar. So it's a few differences, but it has a similar direction anyway. So I've noticed that I still have some of the wool here. The more I look at it, it's nice to actually find the colour combination of the light pink tone and the bright yellow. Also a little bit, it's quite nice. So I'm going to start crocheting now. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I have the rolled up wool here. I've got these crochet hooks from 5 to 8 together here. So I'm looking at the back here. And now I'm not starting directly in the yellow part. I'm going to be starting here in the thinner one. I actually find this wool a little thinner than the 5-point needle, so we've got it like this with the 5, so it's easy to crochet, but it could be a smaller crochet hook, but it definitely works. I'll do a little chain of chain stitches about a few centimeters long. So I've now crocheted over this part, and it went surprisingly well, so it's crocheting quite nicely. Now I've come here, but in the place it works with the needle, I'm getting the wool grabbed, but just barely. Okay, that's enough. So we've got the chain of chain stitches ready twice. They look very interesting in this part. I crocheted back in half double crochets, take a yarn over, and I let the first 2 stitches out. I'm pulling the yarn through. I've got 3 on the hook and I'm going through all 3. Then I take the yarn over the stitch and it's surprisingly good. I've got the next one in here. See how it works. Have it on the needle once through. It worked surprisingly well. So I have to say I'm really impressed right now. It actually works surprisingly well with the 5 gauge needle. I would have thought that I would have needed bigger needles, but with the 5 gauge I can really get along quite well. I've actually run into a bit of a problem here. The wool has just slipped away. I've got the next bit, which is larger. So I've got 3 yarns to get over the needle, and I've got them through now, but here is exactly the stitch on the thickest point. It's a bit difficult to insert the yarn over again through all of them, though that worked well, so I didn't get caught in the wool. That's definitely an advantage. Here I have the same problem now. Yeah, okay, I've got it through. I just have the feeling I could do it with a larger needle. Pink wool's harder to crochet, but I have a bit of a problem crocheting the yellow part really well, so a larger needle would be more practical. I'm really at the limit with the pink wool at the 5 gauge needle, so I've got the reverse side, which is regular intervals, you can see. So I'm now taking it back through the thread, getting 3 by pulling with the stitches, and I have this. Yeah, I assume that this is the stitch. Works, but it isn't that nice either, so I've now crocheted the stitch around it. So if the stitch is really right on top of it, I just crochet around it, and the yellow doesn't come through as nicely anymore. Then we've got here the neck stitch with the yellow in it, which is also difficult. So I'm crocheting it around here again. Okay, so I have now crocheted around the yellow part. It's not very noticeable, but it changes the luxury a little bit. Then I've got the next ones here. So it can be done between the yellow part, the whole thing can be crocheted quite well. So now you can see it more clearer. It's the same distances. I checked the distances, they're a bit there's a slight shift in each case because I'm not crocheting consistently. So now I've got a problem here again. It can get through. Yeah, okay. So the last half double crochet, 12 chain stitches. And it goes okay, I'm now crocheting this row again. So it works, say, relatively constant in the areas with the yellow bits. And definitely has an interesting look. Just thinking about whether a variant with chain stitches would be more suitable for this. Because chain stitches around where the other stitches are simply crocheted, either slip stitches or single crochet stitches around. And I'm working with half double crochet stitches where I've got loops around the needle that could just be for the wool. Be a bit too difficult because I have the problem of crocheting these yellow sections around it. You can see here that they get into each other a bit, and I think with this pattern it's very simple, but a chain stitch has to be such a pattern which is variable. It could actually work even better. You don't actually pierce the stitches themselves, but the whole thing can be varied even more. Might try it again. You're welcome to write in the comments if you want to see such a variant with it again. So now I have it again, but there's the trick there. I can also get through. But there's a bit of a problem, but it's going quite well now. I've got 3 crocheted in half double crochets. You've seen it basically works there. 1 or 2 hooking problems with it, but basically the whole thing looks very cute. It's definitely a cute look, and yeah, feel free to write in the comments how you would do the whole thing, if you found it interesting or exciting or boring. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to watch more, check out my channel, leave a little thumbs up, and thank you for watching.